Welcome back. Today's video is all about building fundamental strength for supported headstand. We'll be focusing on your shoulders, your core, and hamstring flexibility. We're not going to be holding these poses for very long, so I invite you to do this video almost every day if you can, or at the very least before you start to practice going upside down in your supported headstand. So let's get started. So we're going to start in a dolphin pose, which is getting set up the same way you would for your supported headstand. So opposite elbows, interlace your fingers, head down. And we're actually not going to bring weight into the crown of our head. So you can tuck your toes, lift your legs up, and start walking your toes closer to your face. And I really invite you to press up into your forearms, squeeze your shoulder blades to touch, hug your low belly in as you lift your hips up higher, and then press your chest through towards your thighs. And you can bend your knees if you have tight hamstrings here. And we're just going to hold still. Right, so keep pressing down, squeeze your shoulder blades to touch, and breathe. Right, maybe walk your toes a little bit closer, lift your hips a little bit higher. Good, you're almost there. Keep pressing your chest through for 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees down, child's pose. Bring your arms by your sides. And release your head down to the ground. All right, so this will help to release through your shoulders for a breath or two. All right, we'll get set up for round 2. So we're going to do dolphin 2 more times with different variations. All right, so press up into your dolphin pose. Walk your toes in, and then lift your right leg into the air and hold here. So we're in a one-legged dolphin. Keep pressing through your forearms. Yes, feel your shoulders working here. And then lower your right foot down. Lift your left leg into the air. Keep breathing. And lower down, switch. Hug your core in. Switch. One more time, each side. Switch. Keep lifting your hips high. And switch. Last side. You've got this. And lower down, child's pose. Good work. All right, let's do that one more time. This time in your dolphin, I'm going to have you lean forward, bring your chin to your fingers, and then lean back. Press your chest towards your thighs. And then forward, back, forward, back. Good, and keep moving here. Good, keep breathing. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Good work. Release down. Child's pose. Release your shoulders. So doing dolphin pose, in my opinion, is the best way to build the exact shoulder strength you need for supported headstand. So I invite you to practice doing that as often as you can. Now let's get into core. We're going to start in a forearm plank. So you can choose if you want to bring your fingers to touch or if you want your forearms parallel. And then lift your knees off the ground. Yeah, see if you can keep your body in a straight line. Engage your legs. Bring your gaze out in front of your fingertips, yes. And then press into your forearms. Squeeze your low belly up and in, belly button towards your spine. Beautiful, and breathe. You want to press your heels back while you're also pulling your head forward. Good for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You've got this. 5, almost there. 4, 3, shaking is good. 2, and 1. Release down, child's pose. You can choose if you want to keep your arms forward this time or bring your arms back by your sides. Last breath. All right. Come back into your forearm plank. All right. And now, just like your forearm plank, or rather just like the dolphin pose we did, we're going to rock forward and back. See if you can keep your breath as steady as possible. Pressing down into your forearms, your legs are engaged. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, release down and hold here in child's pose. Okay. Final core is what I call crow core compression. So it's kind of like a crow pose where your hands are on the ground and then you're going to be hugging your knees up into your chest. And I want your toes about a foot away from your hands. Spread your fingers wide for a sturdy foundation. Grip down into all your finger points. All right, then start to lean weight over your hands. And then bend your knees, hug them up and in while you're pressing through your hands, rounding your upper back. Yeah, and bring more weight into your hands, less weight into your toes. Right, I'm really squeezing. It's hard to talk here. Maybe you lift one foot. Maybe you lift the other. Right, or maybe you hold both feet on the ground, really pressing, pulling your knees up and in. For 5, 4, press higher for 3, 2, good, and 1. Release, child's pose, only 2 deep breaths. Good. From here, make your way to a downward facing dog. And then from your down dog, step your right foot forward, low lunge. So lower your back knee. And then half split. Straighten your front leg. Send your hips back. Lengthen your chest forward, right? Getting into your hamstrings now. So we're moving on. Send your chest towards your toes. And gently ease into this pose. You don't want to go to your deepest expression right away because a lot of times your hamstring will just lock up. Right, so you want to ease into it. And if you need to slow your heart rate, take longer exhales than inhales. Bend into your front leg, plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Switch sides, left foot forward, drop your right knee down. Straighten your front leg, send your hips back, half splits. And again, create some length through your spine. And gently ease into the pose, one breath at a time. Good. Take your last 2 deep breaths. All right, bend into your front leg, plant your palms, downward facing dog for 1 breath. And then drop down to all fours and take a seat on your butt. And bring both legs out in front of you. And then move the meat away from your sits bones, right? And allow your pelvis to tilt forward here. And then sit up tall. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. And if you have bent knees here, that's totally okay. Bring a pillow or a rolled blanket or something underneath your knees so that there's no strain on your knee joints and you can relax into the pose a bit more. And with every inhale, I invite you to breathe into your hamstrings. And on every exhale, gently release down a little bit more. Right? Releasing any tension. Just a little bit at a time. Last 2 deep breaths. Good, gently release. And we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. So take your legs wide on your mat and start to hinge forward. And if you are pretty flexible, have a lot of hamstring openness, I invite you to externally rotate your thighs. So bring your inner thighs up towards the ceiling, and that'll help to deepen your stretch. This is another great spot if you have props like pillows, blankets, or blocks to bring underneath your chest for a more restorative practice. Or bring your elbows or even your hands down to the ground as you start to hinge forward. We're only here for 3 more slow, controlled breaths. And very gently release. Guide your legs to touch. You can shake them out if that feels good. Right, and that concludes this video for today. As I mentioned at the beginning of this practice, I invite you to do these drills every single time before you try to do a supported headstand. That'll really get your body ready to practice headstand safely. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow.